All right, guys, we're going over financials in this one. This one is so important. And if you don't like financials, you probably don't love your business right now, because if you aren't watching these closely, you're going to realize they can start to slip pretty quick. Financials are one of the most important parts of business. And if you don't know what you're doing with them, that's why we made this video, because we want to simplify it and make sure that you guys actually know where your focus needs to be as far as financials. So let's start at the top. Number one is, what is our business model? I want to put this one as the first question because it makes a huge difference with your financials. If you are a company where you have to sell a customer every single time, meaning maybe you sell a specialized product like a medical device, and so you need a sales team that is going to call your ideal clients, they're going to pitch them, and they're going to put all this effort in to get one sale. Well, that's going to be different than if you're potentially like Netflix, you're a streaming service where you have a one-time sale, and then you have a customer that stays on for a period of months, years, decades, who knows how long, that stays on and keeps paying every month to continually have your service. And it's your job to now make sure that you're still providing the value or some sort of special incentives to extend that lifetime value of the customer, to make them remain a customer as long as possible so that you can continually have that payment coming in. So what is your business model is the first thing with financials. You need to know this because it's also going to go over your key partnerships, your key suppliers, things that take money out of your pocket and also put money into your pocket. It's going to go over how do you deliver things. What is your delivery method? What are your key employees that you have that cost you money? And different things like your marketing strategies. How much money is coming in? How much money is going out? And does it all make sense? And is it an effective business model so that you have good finances? Number two is main revenue streams. These are so important because no matter where you're at in your business, your main revenue streams are going to be the things that keep you afloat. So you need to give them special priority and make sure you understand what is fueling them, and then keep giving it that and find even more effective ways to do it. So what are your main revenue streams? Identify those and take care of them. Number three is major costs. This is huge. If you can find a way to identify your major costs and then potentially strategically find a way to take those costs down, it is going to make your financials way better, because your major costs are the ones that you are really forking it out for. And if you can find a way to bring those costs down, you're going to look good. Meaning, one of the ways that people do this is once your company gets big enough, let's say you are a bakery, you're going to go and say, well, what if we vertically integrate? Meaning, what if we go and actually buy the granary that's producing our flour? Because that's our major cost. It's so much flour. We buy it in, just 50-pound bags, and we get pallets and pallets. If you now own the company that is supplying your biggest cost, you now have a way to take that cost down, because you can give yourself premium pricing, or not premium pricing, super low cost wholesale pricing, so that you can actually get a better margin on your bakery. So identifying your major costs and being strategic about that. Pricing strategy. This is humongous. And if you watched the last video of marketing and sales, you know what we're talking about when we say pricing strategy. This can play into your financials like crazy. If you're doing something like a freemium model, where you let people try out your processes first and then you upsell them into a one-time payout or a membership that's going to be more subscription model, or if you're upselling them, for instance, on a regular service, like somebody who comes in for a haircut and then you upgrade them by giving them highlights. Different things like this are going to make your business financials either grow or stay very, very the same. So you have to get strategic with your pricing, also recognizing that people are people. And if you charge them once a year for a service versus every month, well, every month when they pay that, they now have to ask themselves, do I want to keep this value in my life? Do I want to keep this product or this service? Instead of charging them just once a year, you'll actually have less churn. You'll keep more customers by charging them just once instead of charging them every month. So recognizing the different pricing strategies can actually lead to a longer lifetime value of your customer is why it's so important to be checking this out for your financials. Number three, current financial situation. This is so crucial right now, because now that you've been a business owner for a little bit and you're actually starting to get a grip of this thing, if you're ever going to scale, you need to understand your financials intimately. This is why people pay so much to get a nice CFO, somebody who really understands the company and through the financials can actually make suggestions of how you can change your operations, your pricing, your offers, everything, so that you can actually keep more of the money you're making. So things to start with on a very basic level would be, what's your cash flow look like on a month-to-month basis, and how much of that is profit and how much of that is losses. Your P&L statement, your profit and loss, that's the bread and butter of your finances. Then our last one, financial projections for the next 1, 3, and 5 years. This is important for a couple of reasons. One is it gives you a good measure of where you're headed. It lets you know that your business is actually worth your time and that it's actually making progress. If it's not looking very good, you're going to have to reflect and say, what do we need to change to hit different markers? But 1, 3, and 5 years is awesome because a lot of people drop out of business or they get less enthusiastic about their business because they're looking at the short term and not the long term. If you're playing in decades, you can do so much more than you think you can in 10 years. And usually you can't really do as much as you think you can in 6 months. So check what are your financial projections for the next 1, 3, and 5 years so that you have awesome stepping stones about what you need to do to actually get the financials where you need them for these years. Because you might realize that in 1 year, you're going to do some good sales. In 3 years, you do some great sales. But in 5 years, you're going to crush the market and you could sell your company and live a very happy retired life. So get into your finances. If you guys have questions, let me know.